Springs, California. At first glance, the 2017 BMW M760i X-Drive looks an awful lot like a standard 7 Series. But go a little closer and you'll notice some unordinary bits: a snoutier nose, lower sills, a racier rear end, and, on the rear pillars, a little badge that says V12. That's right, this thing has 12 cylinders. Salivary glands, engage. Answering a question nearly everyone has asked, the BMW M760i is, at long last, the application of M division wizardry to Bayerisch Motor and Werke's largest sedan platform. It's not an allowed M car, no M7 badges, see, but it's as close as we're likely to get because let's face it, no one is buying a 7's track day car first, daily driver second. But this one has the chuff and the stuff to wend its way through the corners like a rabid hound should you ask it to, and that's certainly good enough for most. It's definitely a few steps sharper than the previous Hot 7 Series, the Alpina B7, which adds power but otherwise focuses on luxury and appearance enhancements. Why is this BMW's first application of the M division's sharp-edged performance tuning to the 7 Series? Because this is the first car the M division felt it could truly work with, even if it's an M performance vehicle rather than a true M. The chassis is stiff enough thanks to the aluminum and carbon structure, while the core engineering is conducive enough to the rigors of track work that some medium-scale dressing of key components would yield a car that's not just fun to drive, but able to survive its driver beating its toe and a quarter-ton ass around a track like a rental Mustang. That's no small compliment to the guts of the standard current generation 7 Series, but the M760i goes a long step past your average Luxembourg. With its aluminum 601 horsepower, 590 lb-ft, 6.6-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine driving all four wheels, the Big Bimmer hits 60 miles per hour in just 3.6 seconds, the quickest of any production M vehicle, using its seized chassis up-lease launch mode. To engage launch mode, you just flip into Sport Plus, stomp the brake, quickly floor the gas, release the brake, and hold on. The 8-speed automatic transmitting the power might sound like a letdown, but this gearbox responds quickly to manual requests from the pedals and sorts itself out flawlessly whatever the situation if you let the computer think for itself. If there's a shortcoming, it's the flimsy, plasticky steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Where's the magnesium, BMW? It doesn't really matter, though, where the magnesium is. What matters is the harmony of the chassis, engine, transmission, and X-Drive all-wheel drive system. That's right, this isn't a V12 burnout machine, it's driving all four wheels, all the time, though it is rear-biased with up to 50% of torque delivered to the front wheels as needed. What this yields is essentially the fastest of two worlds, most of the dynamic purity and willingness to turn of a rear-drive car with the added benefit of accelerating, whether from a stop or out of turns, with the bite of a wheel. This harmony becomes immediately apparent on a track, even on the slick and uncharacteristically deluged tarmac of the Thermal Club, a private track complex stationed in a picturesque section of desert. The Thermal Club is also home to BMW's Performance Driving Center PDC, where BMW maintains its own facilities and track, as well as having access to the other tracks on hand. Perhaps it was the sheer volume of the downpour, perhaps it was the interplay of the water and the dust that constantly blows over the track when dry. Whatever the cause, the unusually wet weather made for a very low grip on track surfaces throughout the complex. Despite the BMW's 4,806 pounds curb weight, the Michelin Pilot Supersport tires 24,540 on 8.5 by 20-inch wheels up front and 27,535 on 10.0 by 20-inch rear wheels at rear provide plenty of friction. That means not just acceleration and cornering, but prodigious braking grip, too, even in the wet. Pushing toward the limits with traction, chassis, and powertrain management systems in their most permissive settings. The M760i happily acquired and maintained small yaw angles, dancing down toward apexes and rocketing out of them under ever so slightly tail-out power. Part of this friendly with the limits attitude is that the M760i comes from the torque distributing all-wheel drive system, which works to maintain stability through power, rather than brakes, even in the most aggressive drive modes. Like all good large cars, the tuned 7 Series seems to shrink around the driver when pushed hard. Part of that shrinkage effect is due not to the cold water on track, but the BMW's standard four-wheel steering system, which BMW calls integral active steering. The system, like many others, angles the rear wheels up to a few degrees opposite that of the front wheels at low speeds in order to reduce the turning circle and cants them in the same direction as the front wheels at higher speeds to deliver high-speed stability. It's tuned so well that it's completely transparent to the driver yet utterly predictable in use. The system is also reactive to driver mode settings, ramping up its activity for more dynamic driving, settling back for gentler cruising. Even with this being the driver's 7 Series, the driver assistance systems that arrived with the current generation of the flagship BMW are here, too. Among the many high-tech safety systems that will make the daily grind a little easier to bear are steering and lane control assist, active cruise control with stop-and-go function with automatic adaptation to speed limits at the press of a button, traffic jam assist, rear collision prevention, and cross-traffic warning are some. No discussion of the M760i would be complete with some context, however. For the hottest 7 Series yet, that means comparison to Mercedes-AMG's treatments of this class and Audi's S8. While the Audi S8 packs a 605 horsepower twin-turbo V8 and an elegant, understated look inside and out, as well as upgraded handling compared to the standard A8, it's priced well below the M760i and doesn't have a V12. The same can be said of the Mercedes-AMG S63, which, despite its interior opulence, comely exterior, as well as 577 horsepower and a massive 664 lb-ft of torque, also gets its grunt from a twin-turbo V8. For V12 fans, the only real alternative is the Mercedes-AMG S65, which takes the BMW formula and turns it up to 621 horsepower and 738 lb-ft of pavement-stretching torque from a 6.0-liter V12 and a pair of turbochargers. While the large Mercedes-AMG is more luxurious and certainly more powerful, the edge in chassis tune and handling lies with the M760i, which never exhibits the front axle sluggishness of the S65. The choice is yours. Extreme luxury or driver-focused poise. Another potential rub for the BMW V12 buyer, the M760i lacks some of the visual flourish you might expect of a car for kings and autocrats. The small, if not quite subtle V12 badges on the rear pillars and center console, ever so slightly larger air inlets at the front, and a small Suto diffuser at the rear are just about the only things to distinguish the M760i from its six-cylinder brethren. For north of $150,000 or even more should you employ BMW's individualization services, it may make less of a stir than desired at the valet stand. On the other hand, it may be just the right balance of under there for the masses, and winks and nods from those in the know. For those looking to fly even farther under the radar, there's the optional Knockhard Excellence package, which does away with the M-Aero kit and swaps in glossy silver wheels and bright chrome exterior accents. For the well-heeled hot shoe, however, these aesthetic concerns are easily dismissed. Because no matter how you configure the BMW M760i, you're getting, without doubt, the best driver's V12 sedan on the market. 2017 BMW M760iX drive specifications on sale now. Price $154,795. Engine 6.0 liters twin turbo DOC 48 valve V1 2610 HP at 5,500 revolutions per minute, 800 lb-ft at 1,5505 revolutions per minute. Transmission 8-speed automatic layout, 4-door, 5-passenger. Front engine, AWD sedan EPA mileage 1,320 miles per gallon LXWXH 209.8 by 74.9 by 58.2 and wheelbase 126.4 and weight 4,806 pounds 060 miles per hour 3.6 seconds top speed 155 miles per hour 190 miles per hour William Performance Package Show more.